At the heart of the power control unit in Bay 4 of the Hubble Space Telescope. 36 connectors to be demated, the first 30 to be accomplished by Rick Linehan at the end of the robot arm before he swaps places with free-floating spacewalking colleague John Grunsfeld. Grunsfeld will complete the other 6 connector demates, and then will reconnect all 36 connectors to the new unit that will be installed in that same bay.
That worked out well, actually. Sure.
All 36 connectors are located. You can see in this view, you just saw it in downlink television a short time ago, this a still image of the work site on the Hubble Space Telescope that Linehan and Grunsfeld are currently at. There's the, on the left side of your screen in this still image, the harness retention device. That's the caddy in which the 36 connectors will be temporarily stowed while the power control unit is being removed and replaced for the new unit. Again, the fuse plug removal precedes the actual start of the disconnection or the demate of the 3 dozen connectors holding the power control unit in place.
Hey, Jim, I've got 2 tethers on the handhold. 217, J17. Starting on 15. PDU4.
This view down into the payload bay of Columbia, right behind the aft bulkhead of the crew cabin, you see the rack, the rigid array carrier, which now houses the 2 old solar arrays that were removed from the Hubble Space Telescope and replaced with brand new ones. Those arrays to be brought back home. And right below the door is the second axial carrier, which houses the advanced camera for surveys that will be installed in the Hubble Space Telescope tomorrow by Jim Newman and Mike Massimino, along with the new power control unit that will be retrieved by John Grunsfeld a short time from now.
That's just to keep the tether off of the telescope because I go around pretty far. Not necessarily a requirement. I just for a moment forgot that I was there. 17 installed.
Unit weighs about 120 pounds on the ground, measures 43 inches by 12 by 8. Again, this particular box was never intended to be removed on orbit. However, the replacement power control unit that will be installed later this morning is designed so that it's a bit canted, providing additional hand room on the left side for the reconnection of those 36 connectors.
Even more.
Work now taking those connectors off. He did report that the bundle of cables you see at the very top of your screen is protruding a little further than they had thought based on engineering closeout photos and training in the neutral buoyancy lab here at the Johnson Space Center. So that decreases even further his accessibility to those connectors on the left side of the power control unit.
Well, John, P27 is not going to fit. P26, excuse me. So I'm going to have to use the cable up here to stay. Okay? P28 is not going to fit. John, okay? I'm going to have to put that behind P25 somehow.
The payloads officer here in Mission Control reports that that is no problem to temporarily stow those connectors behind that that wire bundle. The final 6 connectors mating the power control unit to Bay 4 of the Hubble Space Telescope. Rick Linehan successfully demated the first 30 connectors. Now Grunsfeld has swapped places with Linehan for the rest of this spacewalk, which is now 2 hours 42 minutes in duration.
Copy 32, John. I see you complete on the left side.
I concur. 35 and 36 next.
Affirmative.
Chance if you take.
To remove the unit from its bay.
Go ahead, Marion.
Yeah, Scooter, we had sent a summary timeline on board and printed it out for you. If you would take a look at that, the ramifications of today's slip-in activities are there for you. After you get a chance to look it over, we'd like to come back to you and discuss some of the ramifications in detail with you.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, I'm ready to back out. Port apple complete.
Copy, Rick.
Copy. Pack it away.
Second from aft.
Copy.
One thing I'd like to mention now, Mike, is that the starboard second from aft and third from aftmost bolts seem to have no torque on them at all. They spun easily when I started. And the same for the port second from aft bolt. In other words, the aftmost bolt and the second one more forward. The next one more forward, also the same. And that's where I've completed up to. I'm starting on the middle bolt now on the port side.
That will have a ripple effect on their wake-up time for tonight and the start of the 4th spacewalk of the mission and all subsequent activities. So the flight control team here in Houston, led by lead flight director Brian Austin, is discussing now how to reach a compromise in the timeline and provide the crew with additional inputs.
Thanks, man. John? Visor up? Not now. Okay. Thanks for the effort.
And I see it. That kill view is pretty bad, but I see it, I think about 8 inches. Do you agree with that?
Okay, the footplate's about 8 inches. I wish I could tell you the mini workstation was. It's a little less, but I'll be able to manage that one. So if you take me in 3 inches.
Okay, coming in.